Hi, and welcome to Your Time to Tune In. This is just where we take a short break to add a little dose of alignment, some intentionality, and some momentum back to your forward progress. I'm Nicole Lance, and I will be guiding you through this reflection today. So, these reflections are best experienced with headphones on, eyes closed in a quiet space. It's also a great idea to have a journal ready to take some notes afterwards. So go ahead and get settled in, grab something to write with, something to write on, and we'll get started. So for this tune in, we're actually going to be leveraging our senses to help you get settled and back in touch with your own inner guidance. So if you ever heard or experienced versions of this reflection that kind of use the five senses, that's awesome. Just stay present with this one and really kind of stay with the prompts as we walk through it. So no jumping ahead. By design, we won't be using all five of the senses, so you'll be able to choose which ones you want to leverage throughout the practice. The goal is really to partner with these senses and help us find a place of deep center so that we can discover a new self insight from that place that kind of moves us forward towards our goals and builds the type of day or even really the life that we want. So go ahead and get settled in your space, letting your breath even out. So with each exhale, do what you'll often hear in yoga practice and follow the breath all the way to its end. So really getting that fullness of the exhale, releasing all of that kind of stale air. So just notice that sensation of inhaling and kind of how the air feels moving through your nostrils or in through your mouth. And so as you continue that breathing, just notice your body begin to get a little bit more settled, maybe feeling a little bit heavier, a little bit more relaxed wherever you're sitting or if you're lying down. So go ahead and close your eyes if they're open. And as you get still, I want you to bring your full focused attention to one of your five senses. So either hearing, touch, taste, smell, or sight. If you choose sight, go ahead and reopen your eyes at this point. Now, whatever sense you've selected, just go ahead and pick that one and then kind of stay with it for the duration of this prompt. And just see if you can really fully attune to it. So if it's hearing, imagine you have like super ears that are picking up every auditory detail around you. For touch, don't just feel like whatever your fingers are encountering, but notice what's beneath your feet or how your body feels in the clothes that you're wearing or material around you. Maybe even the movement of the air in the room against your skin. If taste is what you've selected, you might already have a taste sensation in your mouth, or you may choose to sip a beverage that's nearby or indulge in a treat or a snack that might be available to you. And just notice those different layers of taste and maybe even where they're showing up in your mouth or on your lips. If you're tuning into smell, again, look for those layers of complexity. So what else are you smelling besides the first thing that you notice? If you're choosing sight, go ahead and take a slow and kind of intentional visual tour around your space, looking a little bit deeper at some of the objects around you than maybe you would normally observe. And now I want you to lock in on one aspect of that sensory experience and go deep, like minute, in-depth detail deep with it. So what else do you notice about that sensory experience? What else does it make you think of? What else does it bring up for you? Are there any details that you might have missed about it when you first kind of tuned into that sensation? And so now I'm going to be quiet for a moment just to allow you some time to simply experience this sensory presence. If you're feeling anxious about time, if you're worrying about productivity, give yourself this really small gift of time to sink into this reflection and really go deep into this sensory experience that you've now become aware of. So go ahead now and take an intentional breath in and allow yourself to come back out of that deep dive sensory experience. We're going to be repeating the process with one more of your senses. So just kind of take a breath or two, get resettled if you need to, and really kind of tune back into that settled feeling in the body that you probably felt when we were very first getting started. This time, select one of your other 5 senses that you didn't use for the first prompt. And again, choosing either hearing, touch, taste, smell, sight. If you're not working with sight, make sure your eyes are closed so that you can truly focus in on what you're experiencing. So with this new sense selected, repeat this process of tuning deeply into it. So if you're struggling to connect with it a little bit or starting to get a little bit distracted, just imagine that as you exhale, you're actually breathing into that sense and actually directing your breath there. And then go ahead and settle into that sensory experience, whichever one you've chosen. Again, looking for layers of complexity and maybe details that you wouldn't normally become aware of. So as you build that awareness, allow yourself to be fully present with that sense. I'll be quiet for another few moments, and your only assignment is to experience that sense to your fullest capacity possible. No analyzing, no editorializing, no inner commentary necessary. Just give yourself this time to fully experience that sense. Okay. So now that you've kind of fully integrated into this second sense experience, go ahead and allow yourself to come back sort of into the present moment. So if you need to wiggle around, get a little bit more comfy, adjust whatever needs to be adjusted, go ahead and do that. And for this last section of the reflection, from this settled space of being really in tune with the current moment, kind of anchored into some of these sensory experiences, allow your eyes to remain closed, or close them now if they're open, and ask yourself this question: what do I need the most right now? What do I need the most right now? And your only assignment is to listen for an answer. No editing, no jumping in, contradicting what comes up. Just listen. It might only be a hint of a feeling. It might be like bullhorn level loud response. But there's no need to respond or even write anything down right now. You'll have space for that in a little bit. But just ask that question: what do I need the most right now? And just see what comes up. And I'm going to be quiet for just a little bit so that you can listen. So whenever you're ready, no matter what your answer was, go ahead and begin to kind of move your body, coming back out of this reflective space and really fully back into the present moment wherever you are. So jot down any insights that you want to capture. And maybe it surprised you a little bit. Maybe it didn't surprise you and just kind of confirmed something you were already thinking. And maybe the only thing that came up was, holy cow, please go take a nap. But just take whatever that is. And the only work that happens from here is to find some way to make at least a micro movement in the direction of giving yourself what you need most right now. Thank you for joining along in this experience today, and I wish you all the best for whatever's left in your day.